today we're out on Billings Canyon, huh? It's a nice day in the middle of December. It's kind of crazy that we're still rock crawling this far into December.
This is a really fun trail with nothing too technical. It's just great to be outside in mid-December. This is just another way to approach one of the obstacles, basically just going high left on the rock rather than driving straight through it. It's a good way to make it a little bit more technical. I get a lot of comments from people who don't think I aired down enough. You can see from this example just how fine of a line that is. If you air down just a little too much, you can end up with a pinch flat or pinching your tire against the rim. Luckily, that didn't happen here. Sticky tires, you don't need to air down that much. I like to try and find that sweet spot where it's just enough that it won't fold over the sidewall like it just did right there. This was a fun spot to work through and get used to this buggy and get used to how it feels in off-camber situations. Tony takes a little bit better approach at it and drives straight up through it. Driving this new buggy with rear steer puts a whole new spin on the other trails we've driven before. You can continue to play around and try out more technical lines. It's also fun just to work it through and get used to the rear steer and get used to how this buggy feels in different situations. The best thing you can do is get more seat time in anything you're driving. Tony probably has about the most seat time that I know out of anybody. This is a fun section that I hadn't tried before or even noticed before. Basically, I'm trying to split the difference on these boulders. Having rear steer on an obstacle like this just allows you to correct things without having to back up and totally reposition. You can just work that back axle until you find it in the right spot. As I get up and over the top of the rock, going down the other side felt a whole lot worse on the inside than it looked from the outside. It's just a weird feeling because it's a sheer drop off to your left side and it's actually leaning you a lot more off camber than the camera shows. Tony takes a little different approach and stays more a driver and goes more straight up the obstacle and then straight down the other side, which worked out really well for him. Like I said earlier, having rear steer gives you the confidence to try out different boulder sections that I probably wouldn't have before. So other parts of the trail I would have just drove by now become a little bit more fun and a little bit more technical. If I would have turned my rear axle more driver right here, it would have stayed up and over the point of that rock and my departure would have been a whole lot better than sliding off the axle tube. It's all just part of the learning process.
What do you think, Maddie?
I like it.
You like it? All right. Having fun? Uh-huh. So far, so good with this buggy, huh?
Yeah.
Except for a few little mistakes, first off. All right, Maddie, here's a big boulder. Go up and over it, huh?
Yeah, but now let's roll over.
Okay.
Never switch sides, like even when I die, I'ma ride for the squad, let her ties in the hearse. I've been on a vibe, kinda hard to describe. I'm in between, I'm good and it's fine, but I'm tired of the grind. Then I come alive in the night to realize I'm in the
As we got up to the exit, I wanted to try and crawl the exit line. I always have to bump over this, and I thought, well, maybe I could work this and work the rear steer and the front axle to get over it, but I haven't been able to yet. I had to resort to backing up and giving it the old bump to get over it.
Try and get grip, but it don't make sense. Cause you can lose life on this fast route. Yeah, turn thoughts to a cash cow. I might flip that to the glass house. I don't need the accolades, I'm in love with the chase. I just wanna eat, save a spot at the table. Beats with the slap, pin myself on the map. You long with the wind, but we know.
Chris has to give it the old bump as well. Hod has a lot more belly clearance than we do. He's able to drive right over it without even touching the rock. Tony opts for a further right line that I hadn't even noticed before. As we get higher in elevation up towards the cutoff trail, we start to get into a whole lot more snow and mud.
One thing I always hate, it's mud. I hate when my tires look like this.
By the way, I absolutely hate mud. I'll just say that, I can't say it enough. I really don't like mud. I will say Hod Swampers were working a whole lot better in the snow and ice than these BFGs were, that's for sure. This entire trail was just a slip and slide of mud, snow, and ice. Not exactly my favorite type wheeling, but it's fun to do every now and again. All in all, it was a great day to be back out on the trail.
Staying warm, Emily?
That is cap. 5-hour flights, couple nights at the